Yes, Mystery Steam Reviews is the part of the PC Gaming Weekspot where I, Colm Ahern, and he, Matthew Castle, test the knowledge of one another via Steam reviews that are a mystery. If you're new here, and there may be a couple of you new here this week, the rules are as follows. Both I and Matthew bring 3 Steam reviews to the MSR arena, but we omit the name of the game associated with each review. Our opponent must correctly guess the game attached to each review. 1 correct answer equals 1 point. While both combatants have 90 seconds on each MSR, we both also have help in the form of 3 lifelines, which can be used at any stage during a battle, and also pause the 90-second timer. Each lifeline can only be used once, and they are as follows. Question, where the hot seat haver gets to ask a yes or no question. Second opinion, where a second review is given to the warm chair sitter. And genre, where the genre of the game is revealed to the one with the warm arse. Now this week, Matthew Castle, we're going to change genre a little bit, just a little bit, because the theme for this week's Mystery Steam Reviews is Western RPGs because of the moving and shaking at BioWare and the announcement that we may get to see a little bit of Dragon Age at the Game Awards. So instead of because usually genre is the definition that's given to the game from wikipedia.org. So what we're going to do instead is use Steam tags. And I believe, have we decided upon 3 Steam tags? Is that
first 3 Steam tags, right?
The first 3. Okay, we'll do. Well, I was just going to say 3 because sometimes one of the ones within the first 3 could be like, it's this. So I would say 3 Steam tags of your choosing, as long as they're not, one of the tags is video game, perhaps. So that's all your housekeeping. So Matthew, would you like your very first Mystery Steam review?
Hit me up.
It's the most bugged and broken piece of absolute RPG masterpiece I ever played. Perhaps even more buggy than Fallout 2. Bugged, but still great. Just be sure you install the unofficial patch. And that's from the Jackie King. It's recommended, 35.7 hours on record, 35.7 hours at review time. And before I start the timer, Matthew, I do have to just inform you not to be alarmed, as I do have a little helper with me this week when it comes to Mystery Steam reviews, because we do have people just listening to this now as opposed to the visual element as well. You'll hear it. Your time starts now.
Okay, I'm a bit scared by what you just said. So this brings to mind bugged and broken. I feel, and Fallout makes me think Fallout New Vegas. But it's an absolute RPG masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's
1 minute.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. What was that?
Ignore it, carry on.
Okay. Did I just hear somebody say 1 minute?
Yes, you did, yeah.
Oh my god. That's completely thrown me. New Vegas or 35 hours isn't very long for New Vegas. That doesn't sit right with me. Listen, I'm gonna say Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Are you have your 3 lifelines, Matthew? You can use them at any stage.
Yeah, because that's got a famous patch. We were doing it in our Let's Play. I think it's that.
Is that your final answer?
10.
That's my
9,
final answer.
8.
Oh my god, that is so irritating.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I'm gonna axe that straight away.
10, 9, 8.
I thought that would help. Instead, I will just give time updates. That is much better. Matthew, you, when getting this review, you carefully or You considered the fact that this person mentioned it was quite buggy a number of times. And the Fallout mention made you think, is this Fallout New Vegas? And you said no. You said, this is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I can tell you, Matthew, that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is the correct answer.
Oh, yes!
Well done.
Castle levels up.
Excellent work, Matthew.
I'm not saving my light. I've leveled up. Unfortunately, I put my points into bumbling stat and then smashed over my light, which was good.
I'm a little disappointed. Why did I put effort into making? I thought the woman would be, you know, because for the people in the audio version, like they have to be updated. They don't see a timer on screen. But yeah, what a waste.
I thought the woman would be welcome.
Well, what a waste of time. I'm sorry, woman. Matthew, could I have my first Mystery Steam review, please?
Yeah, a poor man's Deus Ex. That's Argian. Recommended 1.1 hours on record.
Wow. Okay, time starts now. Ooh. Poor man's Deus Ex. 1.1 hours on record. Now, what Deus Ex is Argion talking about? Is the question. Because if he's just talking about the original Deus Ex, then that leaves 20 years of games. Because often when people say a poor man's blank, the blank came out beforehand. Not always, but often.
Is that how a poor man's works?
No, but that isn't always the case. Actually, yeah, I'm talking up my arse, aren't I? So I would say RPGs from a Deus Ex kind of slant. You're talking System Shock 2. I don't know, is that an RPG per se, but it has heavy RPG elements. Also, could this be a review for one of the Deus Ex sequels? It could be. Do you know what? I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna do quite poorly this week, I feel, Matthew, but that's okay. I'm gonna say System Shock 2.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer, Chris.
I mean, you talked us through your logic. The logic behind the phrase "a poor man's something" slightly baffling. Didn't really understand it. And you've come to System Shock 2. The correct answer is
Deus Ex: Human Revolution or Mankind Divided.
No, I sort of feel bad about this one. The correct answer is Alpha Protocol. I feel bad about it. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, Alpha Protocol is like a poor man's Deus Ex. But then hearing you do the logic of it and talking it through, I was like, actually, that could be like, I don't know. That's a tough one.
It stings a little bit, I won't lie.
Yeah.
Stings just a tad.
The second clue for that one was a horrible, unrefined bug fest. But some of the RPG progression elements have yet to be implemented that well anywhere else. Try it with an open mind, which I thought may have put you in the place of like, it's like buggy, but like a bit of a cult favourite, which may have taken you to Alpha Protocol. The problem is all the other ones are like, it's a James Bond RPG, which is too obvious. That was hard. The other ones are easier than that.
Okay. I
don't know why I feel bad, but I do.
Well, thank you. I'm glad finally you're showing some remorse for your evil deeds. But Matthew, let's see what is behind door number 2. That's not what we do here. Your second Mystery Steam review is as follows. It's just Fallout with swords. Why bother? And that's from RKDA. It's not recommended, with 27.9 hours on record and 16.5 hours at time of review. Matthew, your 90 seconds starts now. Isn't it interesting that they played for an extra 12. Anyway, sorry, this is your turn.
Why bother and then bothers for another 12 hours? It's just Fallout with swords. I mean, this would make you think Elder Scrolls, obviously, but it could literally be applied to any Elder Scrolls game. Fallout with swords. I don't think there's a post-apocalyptic game where you're running around with swords that I can think of. But then that just puts that this turns it into just like a complete guess at an Elder Scrolls game. Hit me up with my second clue.
Ooh, all right then. So we pause the timer there at 47 seconds. Matthew, so what are you using? You're using your second opinion. So second opinion of this is it is stop right there, criminal scum. You haven't played game name, have you? Buy the game and play it now, or server your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. So yeah, that is your second opinion.
I mean, that just says yes. That's an Elder Scrolls game, but that doesn't help me. All that does is confirm it is an Elder Scrolls game, and I don't know Elder Scrolls well enough to know the generic lines of dialogue.
The timer, unless you want to give me, do you want to just give a guess, or would you like 47 extra seconds? We'll restart the timer.
I'm going to guess Elder Scrolls. Oblivion. That's my final answer.
So, you recognized or came to the conclusion that this was an Elder Scrolls game from the off, and after your second opinion, you've ended up on Elder Scrolls. Hold on, what did you say?
The Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So I can tell you, Matthew, that the Elder Scrolls Oblivion is the wrong answer.
Oh. Which one was it?
So I feel like in recent weeks, I have been trying. I don't know if you have been trying to be a bit nicer, but I have been trying to be a bit nicer and not. If something is a complete edition or a definitive edition or whatever, if he just says the name of the game, I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
You've left me in a very tricky situation here, Matthew, because the correct answer is The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. No.
I think you made the right call.
Okay. All right.
The number's part of the title. I wouldn't. If you'd said The Elder Scrolls Oblivion, I wouldn't have given it to you.
Well, we all know that, but I just wanted to.
If you're trying to listen, if you're trying to sell yourself as like a better person or a more gracious competitor, then you'd fucking give me the point. You can't be like, oh, I can't give it to you, but like you definitely wouldn't have given it to me because you're a piece of shit. Like this is, that's you talking to me. You're scum and everyone knows it. I'm not scum, but I'm going to do this scummy thing.
So we're
both scum. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. I'll take that we are both scum. But
we're both scum.
Like if it's complete edition,
game about two pieces of shit trying to guess terrible Steam reviews.
So like a number is part of the title. Complete edition, complete edition.
I would maybe give wiggle room on like complete or special edition, unless it's really like specific to it, and I felt the review gave you enough information to get that it was like Game of the Year edition. You know, it's like, wow, I thought this was good the first time round, but this Game of the Year edition is amazing, and then you didn't say Game of the Year. I would say no.
Okay. Well, I'm glad the people like when we talk shop on air, I think. So they'll enjoy that. Matthew, could I have my second mystery Steam review, please?
One of the worst game launch of this era. That's from Get Yoshi Master. It's recommended. 104.9 hours on record. 0.5 at time of review. I like reviews like this because they tell a story.
Time starts now. Okay. Right. So again, we're talking about a very buggy game. I don't know what era this is. Well, when you're thinking about buggy RPGs, there's obviously the one, like, you know, we've gone through a couple of them already. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Fallout, well, all the like every Bethesda game is pretty buggy at launch. But I think a lot of people give them leeway. Skyrim, was it especially buggy? I'm trying to remember. God, 9 years ago. Do you know what? I'm going to pause the timer. And Matthew, could I have my second opinion for this one, please? Because I think that's gonna help me somewhat, hopefully.
This game reminds me a lot of No Man's Sky. The state that game name is in now is quite a fun game and worth a look.
That not at all. That is a horrible second opinion. You are scum.
Piece of shit.
Time restarts now.
Shit.
I don't know why, but Sea of Thieves is in my head. Like, when it comes to like No Man's Sky and that type of... But like, Sea of Thieves is not a Western RPG. Like, if you picked Sea of Thieves, I would get cross. So like, a Western RPG... I'm just going to shoot with one of the Fallouts, I think. And...
I got those other clues.
Oh, okay, I'm going to pause the timer again at 11 seconds. Oh, you've done me there, Matthew, haven't you? I'm going to say, could I have my genre? Could I use my genre lifeline, please? Which would be 3 Steam tags of your choosing. Just don't be a bollocks.
Open world. Post-apocalyptic. Multiplayer.
Okay. Is that a Western RPG? Time restarts now at 11 seconds. So Fallout 76? It's not a Western, like, there are RPG elements, but like multiplayer. I can't remember. Did Fallout 4? Fallout 4. Fallout 4!
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, Chris, yes.
So, you knew it was a buggy game that was approved? You used your clue to identify that it was a multiplayer game, but did Fallout 4 have multiplayer elements?
I think so.
The correct answer is Fallout 76.
I think that's unfair. I think that
Why
is
is unfair?
so. I think that is bullshit.
Why?
That's not a Western RPG. I think that is a multiplayer. That is more of an online multiplayer video game.
Oh no way! Like, its second tag is RPG.
I think that's an RPG in the same way that FIFA's an RPG, and you can put stats into the players. It's not, obviously. I'm being a little bit outlandish, but it's look.
I ran that one past Catherine. I was like, "Do you think this counts as a Western RPG?" And she was like, "Yes." So, if you want to call my wife a liar, you can. But, you know, that's a real mark against your character. I can get her.
I think calling Fallout 76 an RPG is a stretch. I think that is. But look, we'll carry on, Matthew. You know, fine, I guess.
This is a very unpleasant Mystery Steam review.
Matthew, would you like your third and final Mystery Steam review?
Yes, I would.
It's got the best and worst parts of the Mass Effect series, and that's from Denis Villeneuve. It's recommended 6.8 hours on record, 6.8 hours at time of review. Matthew, your time starts now.
Well, hit me out with my tags.
Oh, all right then.
The last one.
No, you've questioned as well, Matthew.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're saying this is the last one.
You stop that fucking clock. I can see it going down.
Sorry, I didn't. The clock is paused at 1 minute and 16 seconds. What do you want?
The tags, genre tags.
Okay, so the 3 genre Steam tags for this game are choices matter, single player, and no, sorry, I'm going to take that one out. Choices matter, multiplayer, and sci-fi. And your timer restarts now.
But it was also single player. You said it was single player. Now you're saying it's multiplayer.
Maybe I'm actually nice and I'm being kind.
Stop the clock, ask a question.
Oh, all right then. Yes, what is your question, Matthew Castle?
Does this game have a...
I love stopping the clock and then going, let me think of a question.
All right.
No, ask the question, because the timer ran for a little bit afterwards anyway, so go on.
It's only about those 10 seconds that you stole. And you did steal them. It was... Is the multiplayer mode separate to the single player mode?
Okay, I am going to answer the question that you asked. But I am going to double check because, we need to be sure, don't we? I'm 99.9% sure. Yes.
Okay. Well,
timer restarts now. This
is going to be a Mass Effect. The question is, if it has a multiplayer, which you've thrown in to you thought you'd throw me off a bit. But actually, it reminds me, 2 of those games have multiplayer modes. Mass Effect 3 had a multiplayer mode, like a horde mode, as did Mass Effect Andromeda. The question is, which of them is? It's the best and worst. You know what? I don't think people talking about Mass Effect in that kind of sort of third-person way about a Mass Effect game sounds like there's a bit of distance. I'm thinking Mass Effect Andromeda for this one. It's the best and worst of Mass Effect.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
So, Matthew, you correctly deduced that this is a Mass Effect game. And after getting the Steam tags, you thought to yourself, there are 2 games in the Mass Effect series with multiplayer. So, indeed, that's why I gave you multiplayer. So it's being kind. It's being a little bit nicer than just saying single player. And you've ended up on Mass Effect Andromeda, realising that maybe this review had a couple of years to process Andromeda and go, you know what? This game is alright. So I can tell you, Matthew, that Mass Effect Andromeda is the wrong answer. The correct answer is Mass Effect 3.
Fuck it. Right. Well, okay.
So, yeah.
It could have been either of those.
And it was Mass Effect 3.
Basically a replay of the Fallout 4, Fallout 76 thing, except Fallout 4 was never a multiplayer, so that's on you.
Did it not have base building? You built bases. I thought there was
yourself.
I thought there was some. Was there definitely not some form of?
No.
Oh, all right then. I'm not as cross about that anymore then. Matthew.
Yeah, you just got it totally wrong.
Matthew, could I have my third and final mystery Steam review, please?
Bald man frames old man who has amnesia, starting a wild goose chase with a lot of inconveniences in the middle of it. Recommended from Orange Ryu. 82.8 hours on record. 74.2 at the time of review.
90 seconds starts now. A bald man, famous bald men in video games, Agent 47, Max Payne in 3. A bald man frames old man who has amnesia, starting a wild goose chase with a lot of inconveniences. Frames an old man. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this was a bit like the Abe's Odyssey one last week. Like, I think you're either going to be like, yes, or it was going to seem bad.
I just thought, now I've never played a Diablo, but what's his name? Deckard something, I can't think of his name. But he's quite Kane. He's quite a big character in that series. I'm pretty sure he's bald. He might be a quest giver. I'm not sure. I'm going to pause the timer and I'm going to use my one final lifeline, and which is a question. And I'm going to ask you, Matthew Castle, whilst I stall, to come up with a question. I'm going to ask you, is this game part of a trilogy?
Yes.
Do you know what? I think I might have pulled this one out of my arse, Matthew Castle. Starting the timer again, 39 seconds. This might be... Now, I could be completely wrong, but Diablo is all I have. And so 3 is... I know 3 was like 2013. But obviously the older ones are on there as well. Let's just say Diablo 3, that I'm pretty sure doesn't have a subtitle. Yeah, Diablo 3.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
So it feels like you went into this one without an idea, but you grasped onto something, this image of a bald man known to you as Deckard Cain.
A little beard on him as well, I'm sure.
Bald and bearded. You're thinking Deckard Cain. You asked the question, is this part of a trilogy? There is indeed 3 Diablo games. I didn't do any bullshit with there is a 4th Diablo game coming out. We're talking about games that are out now. But is it the right answer? The correct answer is The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings. Geralt famously has amnesia.
Bollocks.
The bald man's the bad guy in it. The assassin.
Yeah. The fella you meet at the end.
Letha,
yeah. Sorry. Shit. All right. I'm okay with that. I didn't.
I think that was a
contentious mystery Steam reviews.
Yeah. Kind of. I just kind of want to put it behind us. It's not. I don't really get much satisfaction from that victory.
Fraught. That one. But look, congratulations.
I feel like in true RPG fashion, we've managed to get one of the bad endings.